There's a lot of discussion about different forms of energy, and there has been a strong political push to have alternative energies from high carbon fuels to basically low carbon fuels. What have we seen in companies at board and top team level until recently? Talk. Do many companies, if we're dealing with polluting water, know they're polluting it? Absolutely. If you're polluting the environment and damaging whole areas, do they know that's happening? Absolutely. The push to alternative energies has come because of oil price rises. Now, there are quite a few bankers, particularly in the energy field, who fundamentally will tell you that the real price of oil today is about $70. And all the rest is political positioning for all sorts of reasons. Some predict the price of oil will come down to about 80 or 90 barrels, and some say no, the political circumstances of this world will keep pushing the price up, and the conjecture of $200 per barrel may well be a reality. Now, under those economic circumstances, alternative energy has begun to take shape. So you will see, for example, Russians purchasing wind and wave operations in Europe. You will see bankers from different parts of the world buying whole portfolios of wind operations in Europe. The sudden interest in wind-powered energy in the US over the past few years hasn't come because there has been a sort of socially responsible movement that has taken place in the US. It's because oil is now getting too expensive. There was a very interesting scientist in the 1910s, 20s and 30s, a guy from then Serbia, Nicholas Tesla, who drew up diagrams, models of how to get free energy, and one of them was to capture sunlight through laser technology at satellite level and deflect that to basically massive receptors on this Earth who could then take that energy and push it through a grid. The skill is to deflect it from satellite to laser technology and then push it through the grid, which is where we're at now. And some of the estimates that we've come across are that in about 20 years or so, we can be totally solar powered through these satellites. Now, to give you an idea of how many grids do you need at the bottom, how many receptors, massive receptors, each of which is about the size of a couple of football fields, 6 to power the whole world. So we're in a very interesting point of economics driving us. Not conscience, not politics, not governance in the boardroom, pure economics. There is a move by the Americans with the Japanese to develop the technology one way, which will have communal and military benefit. And there is an alternative move, essentially by Europeans, French, German, Swiss engineers, totally for communal applications. So we have two clusters of engineers really working on how do we capture the sun a few hundred miles above the Earth on things that rotate permanently around, grab all that energy, push it down to the Earth, immediately harness it and push it out across a grid so that everything from the bulbs in this room to the batteries that we'll need for cars, and we'll need no more petrol, we can just keep ourselves going. Now, I suspect the big question mark will be, how are we really going to use that energy financially? And if we look at Nicholas Tesla's inventions and what happened to them, and Tesla had more patents than the whole of NASA put together. This was a brilliant man. When it came to free energy, most of his patents were bought up by the investment banks of the day and hidden in their safes so that nobody could come to that free energy, so that we could start charging for energy. So the whole technology of really having a community and a whole society that is equitably driven by energy sources that will cost us the absolute minimum, we have known since 1920. And for 60 to 70 years, those patents have been kept in safe, well away from the public eye. And until oil, for political reasons, became a commodity that one country uses to hit another, only then did we open up those safes and pull out, if you like, those maps and drawings to give ourselves a better life. Now, if that's our history, I really would like a good government investigation to ensure that we don't repeat it, because I can see in the hands of a few investors or one or two governments, energy will become as expensive as it is today, when in fact it should be totally free.